Cthulhu Jack.
It's been the better part of probably 30 years since I had seen this film on any media in its entirety.
We weren't brought here.
And 40 years since the first time sitting in that theater seat at that ripe old human age that Short Round was at the time.
Dr. Jones, what you look at?
Don't come up here.
An avid fan of Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I've probably seen more times than any film. This one, not so much. So when the opportunity knocked on my chamber door to see it on the big screen celebrating the summer of 1984 this past month, I couldn't resist. I grabbed my fedora and bullwhip and was off to the races. I'm talking about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom from 1984, with an opening that instantly teleported little old Spawn me back to how I felt at the time when this was just a PG movie. My little brain had a heart-pulling, fan-spinning, blood-smearing, whip-cracking good time back then, except for the screaming.
The biggest trouble with her is the noise.
We open with Anything Goes as the song and dance number, and in retrospect, after Raiders of the Lost Ark was a smash success,
Anything goes.
From the opening exchange of services rendered to a poisoning shootout and a leap from a multi-story building classically called Obi-Wan, Spielberg delivered the goods and then some when inviting you in here.
I could have been your greatest adventure.
With jeweled moments throughout that would fill a 4-hour video, like this one between Indy, Willie, and Lau.
You're very good help.
Wow.
To Short Round sniping in shots at not only Indy keeping him in line,
Hey, Dr. Jones, no time for love. We got company.
to making sure that Willie gives Indy the proper respect that Short Round himself finds in the surrogate father figure.
Hey, lady, you call him Dr. Jones.
My professional name.
To this masterful one-shot between Indy and the village shaman. The shaman asks Indy to help to retrieve an ancient stone that was stolen from his village. During their journey, everyone is tasked to contend with Willie, who can be a handful to say the least. Capshaw does create some fun moments between the two of them.
Nocturnal activities.
You mean like what sort of cream I put on my face at night? What position I like to sleep in?
Mating customs.
Love rituals?
Primitive sexual practices.
So you're an authority in that area?
Years of field work.
And her relationship with Short Round during the dinner sequence is quite sweet to say the least. The relationship between Shorty and Indy is also one of the best duos ever put to screen.
Why'd you glow like that?
2 6.
Aha, 3 aces. I win. 2 more games. I have all your money. Ha, ha.
That's one of the greatest aspects about the first 3 Indy films. Characters pop in and out and they all hold some type of weight and gravitas even if you have zero clue about their previous relations.
Dr. Jones, the eminent archaeologist?
Once the gang is back together after Willie squirms and squeals her way through the creepy crawlies, they witness a sacrifice that has all the wonderful supernatural touches these films never explain. Indy slips down to do what he does best after the fire show. With the cries of horror from subterranean alcoves, Indy discovers the village's children enslaved by the boy king and Mullah Ram. Not going as planned, Indy and the gang are captured. I had forgotten how much the hero gets wailed on in this, not to mention Shorty, who manages to also get a few lashings.
Leave him alone, you bastards!
Indy now turned into a cult-like zombie. It's barbecue time for old Willie. The intensity Spielberg carries through here is why these films still hold up. Shorty escapes to beat some baddies and torch his best friend in order to snap some sense back into him. I was truly moved here.
I'm all right, kid.
I never saw the last 2 cash grab adventures, but I know all the circus around them. After The Force Awakens created this cardinal sin of not having the original cast back together for the fans, one might think they would learn their lesson with this one. Nah, let's not get the boys back together.
Indy, my friend.
I'm sorry, kid.
Man, it would have been epic. With the final act seeing our characters go off the rails in the literal sense, our heroes barely make it out by the skin of their hides. The final showdown has Indy and Moolah Ram hanging on by a thread, before one becomes gator bait. It's a testament to Lucas and Spielberg to produce a balls-out horror jungle adventure. So, if you haven't visited this relic in a long while, maybe head to that museum once again and dust this one off and take this safari for one more spin. Until next time.
We are going to die!
I also wanted to give a shout out to our YouTube members. Thank you for the support. And Hail Cthulhu!